Now, not wanting to panic you, but did you know that as you're sitting there right now watching me, your blood pressure could be going through the roof and you wouldn't know a single thing about it? It's a silent killer, and I want to talk about it today. Hi, my name's Christine L. Conroy. Welcome to Happy Stuff and Fluff, a channel for women who are getting happy, living longer and growing younger. And this is part of a huge series that I'm embarking on this channel about positive aging or reverse aging, or the growing younger part of the Happy Stuff and Fluff channel. And this month, February, the month of love, and you've been considering everyone else's heart, I want to consider your heart. And after today's video, I want you to be considering your heart too. Okay, so why are we talking about blood pressure then? Because before we can start looking at living long, getting happy, living longer and growing younger, we have to get the basics sorted out. We have to start taking responsibility for our health. Sleep that we talked about last time is a basic, one of the basics that runs throughout, that you will be considering forevermore. You know, these are not quick fixes that we're talking about on this channel. These are slow, incremental changes that are going to help you to get happy, live longer and grow younger. Okay, on with the video. Why am I talking about blood pressure particularly? Have a look at this statistic. In the UK, over 30% of people suffer from high blood pressure. Okay, over 30% in the UK. Now, according to the Centre of Disease Control and Prevention in the United States, 47% of you guys, over 47% of you guys are suffering from high blood pressure. And you know what? In the UK and in the US, half of you don't even know it. You don't even know that, because with high blood pressure, there are no symptoms. At least not until it's gone so far down the line that really horrible things are starting to happen to you. That's why I want us to talk about blood pressure today. Now, stick to the very end, because I have a very sexy giveaway for you. Got you there. Okay, so blood pressure then, what exactly is it? Now, forgive me if I'm telling you what you already know. Maybe you just need reminding. But blood pressure then, quite simply, it's about your heart that pumps blood and oxygen and nutrients all around your body, and it does so through your arteries. Now, the pressure is the force of the blood against the arteries as it's going around your body. Now, before I carry on, I do have to put a caveat in here. I am not a doctor, nor am I medically trained in any way, shape or form, but I am alive. And I want to stay alive and live longer. And so I'm researching. And I've told you before, the things that I find out through my research I want to tell you about, that will hopefully ignite interest in you so that you will go on to do your own further research and then take it from there for yourself. You know, I'm a positive psychology practitioner. I can make you happy. But as for the rest of it, I need a bit of help. Okay, so I'm not a doctor. But basically then, that's what blood pressure is. Now, your blood pressure is measured in two ways. Have a look at this. So the systolic pressure measures the force of the blood, as we're saying, the force of the blood being pushed through your arteries when your heart contracts, you know, when it beats. And then the diastolic pressure measures when the heart relaxes between those beats. And usually, the systolic pressure number is the higher one and the diastolic is the lower one. So you do usually see it, don't you? High number over low number. That's what we're talking about here. Now, in general, doctors recognise high blood pressure or hypertension taking place if your numbers come up to be over 140 for the high one and over 90 for the lower one. That's when it's you're considered to have high blood pressure or hypertension as it's known. Now this does it can differ with age, but in general, if I just show you this blood pressure chart to give you an idea. So what you're looking at here then, if you look at the bottom, optimal blood pressure, your systolic number would be 120 and the diastolic number would be 80. So 120 over 80 would be optimal, and then 130 over 90 would be normal, and then we're going up to something called high normal, which is 140 over 90, and then that leads you into hypertension or high blood pressure. Now, the American Heart Association recently upgraded their guidance, indicating that people aged 65, which is quite soon to be me, and older should ideally have a blood pressure reading lower than 130 over 80. So that gives you a good guide. Obviously, you can go back and look at that chart or make some notes on the chart if you want to when the video's finished. So what are the risks then if you are in that high, if you do start to go into the hypertension side? I'm sure you know lots of them. Heart disease, heart attacks, strokes, heart failure, arterial disease, kidney disease, because of course this affects your other organs too, vascular dementia, and on, and of course death. And this is why it's scary, because those are the risks of high blood pressure, and you may not even know you have high blood pressure, as I say, until you get to a point where you're on the way to one of these things, which we don't want and we're not going to have, because the solution to it is simple. Why? Because what causes high blood pressure? Too much salt in your diet is one. Quite a few things. Can't rhyme them all off, but too much salt, too much alcohol, processed food, lack of exercise, overweight, sleep or insomnia consistently, stress. And what are all these things? They're all lifestyle situations. A lot of these things are our lifestyle choices. Now, this is where the good news comes in, because if what causes it are some of the lifestyle choices we make, then we can make different choices. Okay, put that to one side a second. Because how I got onto this journey of the blood pressure thing, I was listening to Dr. John Campbell a while ago, and he was talking about the machinery and equipment, small pieces of machinery and equipment that we should all have in our homes. And I don't know what the situation is like in the US, but certainly in the UK, the National Health Service is struggling right now, and it's not easy to get yourself an appointment to see your doctor, which is why I'm talking about, taking a little bit more responsibility for your own health. Because first of all, what you've got to do is find out if your blood pressure is high. And going back to John Campbell then, I invested in this, which is a blood pressure monitor. It's called the OMRON. There's lots on the market. This is very simple to use, which you'll see in a second, and relatively inexpensive. Okay, I want you to get yourselves one of these. I'm going to leave a link in the description box down below so that you can start to monitor your own blood pressure. I started to do it. I'll just put this film up here and show you what happened when I was taking mine. So what I'm doing here is obviously taking my blood pressure, but what I've started to do, I was taking my blood pressure every morning at the same time, every morning, and then again taking it in the evening. Now, because your blood pressure tends to go high over the course of the day, because obviously all kinds of busyness goes on, and stress and so on. If it's going to happen during the daytime. So that's when I'm doing mine, once in the morning and then again in the evening, and I'm going to do that for about a week. And then, because as you can see, or you will see from this, excuse me a second, my computer is going crazy. Okay, sorry about that. So I'm taking my blood pressure over the course of a week. Now, I've discovered that my blood pressure is slightly high, which I was staggered about. However, I have a suspicion I know why my blood pressure is high. And for me, I think it's a lack of exercise, at least a lack of aerobic exercise. I sit down a lot at my computer. I do, however, I am consistent with yoga and stretching. But aerobic exercise and strength exercise I'm going to start soon, and I'll be talking about that further down the line. So I know I need to do that, and I'm going to start it, and I know those numbers will come down, because that's the other thing. Once you make the adaptations to these lifestyle choices that you believe could be causing your high blood pressure, you will know if you're eating too much junk food, drinking too much alcohol. You don't have to cut back too much for these numbers to come tumbling down. That is the good news. That's why I want you to be aware, and why I wanted to talk about it. Because these are things that we can do ourselves without having to take drugs. Now then, if your blood pressure is consistently high over the week, then you need to speak to your doctor. You need to speak to your doctor and see what they suggest. But if you know, or if you try then if you're in the high normal as I am, and I start exercising and that comes down, then it prevents me from having to take drugs to do it. I know what the answer is. That's what I'm saying to you. Now, what I want to do, the sexy giveaway, I'm giving the blood pressure monitor away. Why is it sexy? Well, it's sexy because if you get this, if you win this and you take your blood pressure, I hope it doesn't happen, but you take your blood pressure and it's high and you didn't know, and you do something about it and bring it back down, that would be wonderful for me. That would be wonderful for me. That something I did helped you practically and physically in that way. I would be overjoyed. And equally, because I am going to leave the link down below, if you don't want to wait to see if you're going to win it, please buy one for yourself and for your whole family and just check it out. It's life-saving. It would be life-saving. It could be life-saving, is what I'm saying. Simple thing to do. Okay, so what do you have to do in order to win this sexy gift? Just subscribe to Happy Stuff and Fluff and leave me a comment down below, either on this subject of high blood pressure and heart disease and so on, or on the positive aging series if there's anything you want me to cover. Leave that in the comments box below. The winner will be picked out of a hat, as it were, and then it will come winging to you, and I will announce the winner on my birthday, which is the 2nd of March. How lovely will that be for me to be able to give a gift like this to you on my birthday? That would be lovely. And I'm so glad that you're joining me on this positive aging or reverse aging or growing younger part of Happy Stuff and Fluff journey, because I'm doing it. I'm going to be living longer and growing younger. And I'm getting happier all the time. And that's large partly due to you. In large part due to you. So yeah, overjoyed. Okay, I'm going to leave it there and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.